Hi there. Welcome to my channel, and if you're happy to be here, I am happy to be here too. Anyway, so today I promised some people at the comment section that I was going to do a Q&A video to answer some of their questions. I've received some lots of questions. I can't remember some of them. Some have answered them. Some have sent me emails and making some inquiries, and I did my best to answer as much as I can. Whereas some that put up questions that I feel like needs a little more explanation because I can't type everything at the comment section. I chose to do this video so that you can have more insight to the questions you ask. And in case someone else is actually having the same kind of questions, they will watch this video and then they will be able to have the answers that they might be looking for. All right. So some of the questions I have this today is someone asked if it's okay to or what do I advise somehow how do I advise what is my advice for him to when I move come to Kuwait with his family. All right, something like that. um I can't really advise you. I can't tell you what to do. However, in this video, what I want to do is to give you an insight into pros and cons of living in Kuwait. Then that would guide you towards making your decisions. All right. So stick around. Before the end of the video, I'm going to talk about pros and cons of living in Kuwait. Just tips that you to help you make your decision. Someone also asked if it's okay to come to Kuwait with a visit visa and then get a job and convert it to work visa, like a company employs you and convert it to visa. I would not advise that. All right, I would not advise that. But however, I'm still going to give you reasons I said that, and just for you to have insight. It's totally your decision to make, anyways. Also, someone asks, what do I think about driving in Kuwait? Driving is not bad at all. Driving is not bad. However, you need to know certain things concerning driving. I think I wrote that in the comment section. I told you specifically that I was going to do more elaborate on that so that you can have know some things you need to have while you're making those decisions. And also, another question I want to treat also is someone who asked, I think a lady asked about nail technicians. So I want to say something about that too. Yeah. And then I'll just talk generally both teaching for those who said they want to come to Kuwait to teach. Just give some tips on how you can go about that. Whereas I've talked about some of these things in my previous video, but I'll just kind of still, touch some of them here for you to have an insight. So stick around, watch to the end, and I hope you find help and find resource in this video. All right, so before we go ahead, please do like this video, share it to people who might need it, and also most especially try to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. It will help more people to find this video. By subscribing, you're helping the channel grow. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get to it. So like I said, first thing I want to let me talk to the lady that said if she comes with a visit visa, if she can get a job and convert it to work visa or something like that. Whereas that might be possible, but the chances are very, 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 very small. Like, let me say 0.5 out of 100. And I said that because there are every employer now in Kuwait, before they post their jobs, you see them ask what visa status what kind of visa do you have. All right, even the ones that have visa 18 small projects struggle to get some jobs. Even the ones that have visa 20 or something, they struggle to get certain job. So it's going to be really difficult. It's going to take grace. If your grace is pouring like oil, you understand, then maybe. So I won't say never, but I'm just saying that it's just going to be very difficult for you. So the best route for you is to find work visa and come. There are agents, there are people who provide jobs. So I don't know the kind of job you want to come or you're hoping to do in Kuwait. But in my next video, I want to talk about certain jobs that are good or that benefit most suitably for Africans, for Nigerians, so that you can see if it's what you want to do. But I don't know the kind of job you were hoping to come and do in Kuwait. So find agents, find job, work visa, and come through work visa. It will be a lot more easier for you. All right. That said, I want to also, so the person who asked, who talked about moving to Kuwait with family, like I said, the decision is totally yours. All I can tell you is okay, living in Kuwait entails this and that. Firstly, it's are you coming to Kuwait with a work visa? Do you have a job first? Don't come if you don't have a job offer. And I said that because it's going to be a little rough for you. It's not so easy to get a job. There are jobs, but it's not so easy to get them. And there is so because you have to pay rent, you have to sort out family. So if you're coming with your family, be sure that you have a job. And again, I would love to, if you do have a job offer, what kind of job? So before you can even come with a family, you have to be earning at least 800 KD before Kuwait can allow you to come with your wife and your kids in Kuwait. So, and before you have that kind of job, that is, maybe you're an engineer or a doctor or a nurse or a teacher. These are the kind of fields that probably will give you that kind of job, that you have that kind of salary scheme. However, there's another way you can go about it, which is, just maybe you have a job offer and your wife have a job offer, so both of you can come independently, then maybe present your marriage certificate and live together. Because Kuwait is against unmarried people living together. So yeah, so that's what I can say to you. However, you need to know that whereas Kuwait is a sweet place, peaceful, loving, it's if you come with family, you will really enjoy it. That's the truth. You will. The only challenge you might have is sending your kids to school. School here is expensive. It's pretty expensive. So you have to have a good job before you can send your kids to a good school. If you're a teacher, then you might have the privilege of having your child attend your school with some discounts. Some schools give discounts to the children of the teacher. Some schools, the first kid is free education, the second kid free too. Some schools, first you is free, the second one you pay half of the tuition. Yeah, so it depends on the job that you have again for you to be able to make that decision, because your training your kids here is not easy. So then also, if they can't go to American schools or British schools, then another choice they would have is going to Indian schools or Pakistan schools, and then they are going to be learning. There's a kid here I know that when she's speaking bring, is it standing, like good morning, that last G, they put it in their sentence because that's how they speak. So you understand that because your child is going to have accents, most likely because the teachers are Indian and stuff like that. So it's not so cool to send a child to school. Yeah. And even if your child is going to British school or American school, Kuwait, the child most likely will learn Islam because it's a compulsory subject they teach in school here, at least from, you know, grade from grade one to up to up there. So this kind of things. These are the things you have to consider. Training your kid in Islamic nation, teaching them that. Except if you're a Muslim, then you don't have a problem. But if you're not, that might be something you want to put into consideration. All right. So then that's it. Apart aside that, cost of living, cost of accommodation. So again, you have to have a good job, and you need to know the kind of job that you have. The country is safe, is one of the safest place in the world. It's peaceful, and it's a very cool and cozy area, very sweet country. um, Food is not a problem. You'll be able to feed your family. We have Nigerian foods here, African foods, it's here. Of course, there's Kuwaiti foods also, so you can get them for your family. That wouldn't be much a problem. I don't know if there's much thing that I need to say now. I've talked about pros and cons of living in Kuwait. So you can just copy that video and see some pros and cons. That will still give you another much more insight so that this video don't become too long. Yeah. If you have more questions, you can also ask me. You can reach me on my email or put on the comment section. I will still try to answer as much as I can. So yeah, that's that. So now moving on to my brother who talked about driving. Now driving in Kuwait is not bad. All right. However, you need to know there are different kinds of driving. So I don't know the kind of driving offer that you have. If it's delivery, I've talked about delivery. If it's delivery, then I think it's okay if you just have to know that your if it's delivery, then I think it's okay. You just have to know that if they offered you accommodation, then you just know that you're not living alone. You might be like 4 or 5 persons living in one room, okay, and then you also know that it's tasking. That is, you're going to work like round the clock, like really round the clock. um some of my friends here who are doing the job, we don't see them most times. We don't see them. They usually come to church, but before once they started the job, we don't see them because they don't have time. They work around the clock. So you just know that you may not have time for yourself. But then again, you are here to work, so that might be okay for you. Then the salary range also depends. If you're doing taxi, then if it's taxi, I think they have different arrangements with the taxi companies because they have companies that handles taxi. So again, it depends on the kind of driving that you're planning to come and do. You can't come and be an independent driver. You have to work with a company. So there are companies who, when you want to be a driver, they give you a car, and then I think you sign a deal and whatever with them. Then they give you a car. It could be a brand new car or whichever one they give you, and then you drive and balance certain amount of money per day. All right. It can be lucrative sometimes. I've spoken with lots of taxi guys. Like when I enter taxi, I ask them how much they earn and how is the work. Some of them say they have to remit daily 8 KD. That's about average, let me say 50K daily. All right. And some of them, some days they make more than that. Now fuel is cheap, so some days they make more than that, some days they don't meet up because there's a lot of taxis in Kuwait. So that, I think that's that in that. So you just need to find out. If I know exactly the area of driving that you want to do, that will help me to really know what advice to give you. But yeah, you need to have a valid driver license. Then when you come here, you have to, if your visa, then your visa must have driving in it. All right, your visa must have driving in it, so that when you come, you'll be able to get your driver license. to be able to drive in Kuwait. If your visa do not have driving license, you have to, before you can get driving license in Kuwait, you have to be in Kuwait for 2 years legally. You have to be in Kuwait for 2 years before you can apply to drive in Kuwait. All right, despite your own home country driving license. So you need to know that. So that's that on driving. So generally driving is okay. You just have to have your driver license. Make sure your visa has driving, because you're going to be here 2 years before you can get a driving license if you don't have a visa that identifies you as a driver. All right, and corporate driving, I don't know much about that, but I do know delivery and I know about taxing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that on that. And then for the person that asks about a technician, then what I would tell you is that it's lucrative, because if you're good with it, if you're skillful with it's like an art. If you're skillful with it and you're talented, I am sure that you can get a job. But however, it's always good you get the job before you come. So what you can do is to search for jobs in that niche, in that area in Kuwait. Show them your samples. If you have samples on your Instagram and stuff, show them. Most likely they would want to hire you, because lots of Kuwaitis like fashion. They like to paint and do all those stuff, and they like to go specific places where they are really really good at it. So you understand. So if you're good with it, you should be able to have your portfolio, your pictures and videos of stuff that you've done, put them online, search for companies that are into it and apply. They most likely will employ you. If you can find your way to Kuwait, then good. All right, you can come and then also search in that niche. But yeah, I think I have a friend who is a nail technician and she's doing so well. They pay her very well. And she's from Ghana and she's really doing very well. She might see this video. Shout out to you. But yeah, so that's that. She's been here for a long time, so maybe her pay is dependent. Again, I said before in my some of my videos that the longer you stay in Kuwait, the better your salary. So that works out there. But I'm sure as a nail technician, you will have a good pay. All right. So I think I've attended to some of these questions. I'm trying to make sure that this video is not too long. All right. For those of you who are teachers who really want to come to Kuwait to teach, few things I just want you to know is teaching pays well in Kuwait. First thing, you need to have educational certificates. You must make sure that you have BSc in education or BEd, right, in a particular subject that you want to teach. For example, if you want to teach mathematics, that means you have bachelor's degree in education in mathematics. If you want to teach physics, make sure you have bachelor's education in physics, or maybe you have a BSc in physics. That could work also. But most times when you have education, you have a higher chance of teaching here. All right. Then also you have to do certify the certificates and all those ones in Nigeria and make sure everything is in sync. So yeah, and if you everything is intact for you, then you can come here and search, or you can start searching from Nigeria. But the best time to search for a teaching job has just passed. You can still continue because during their summer break, that's when they start hiring for the new academic session, which began this August ending, August ending / September. All right. So yeah, but hey, keep on trying your luck. You might be able to get an offer. However, if you can still find your way to Kuwait and from here, because it's easier for them to hire locally than internationally. All right. So that's that about that. Any other question you can put on the comment section. Be specific with your questions so that I will be able to give you a narrowed answer. Thank you all. If you've watched up to this point, again, please remember to like and share this video, and most especially subscribe. All right, hit the subscribe button, and I see you in my next video where I want to talk about certain jobs that are most suitable and most that blacks have more opportunities to do because of certain factors, and I will highlight the factors that affect certain jobs that you can't do even if you have the experience in Nigeria. It will take you lots of things before you can get those jobs in Kuwait. See you. Bye for now.